Billionaires are often seen as the epitome of success in our society, with their immense wealth and power. There is growing concern that billionaires are actually bad for the economy. Many experts argue that the concentration of wealth in the hands of a few individuals can have negative consequences for the rest of society. So in this video, we are going to discuss top 5 ways why billionaires are bad for the economy. Now before we get into this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below saying I subscribed. I will try my best to reply to as many comments as possible. Income inequality. Billionaires hold a disproportionate amount of wealth, which contributes to income inequality. This can lead to social unrest and political instability, which can harm the economy. Income inequality refers to the uneven distribution of income among a population. In the United States, income inequality has increased by about 20% from 1980 to 2016. The Gini coefficient, which measures income inequality, ranges from 0 to 1, with 0 indicating perfect equality and 1 indicating perfect inequality. In 2018, the ratio of household incomes at the top to those at the bottom was 12.6, an increase of 39% since 1980. Excessive income inequality can lead to social and political polarization and lower economic growth. It is often accompanied by wealth inequality, which is the uneven distribution of wealth. Income inequality can be analyzed by different measures, such as the Gini coefficient, which ranges from 0, perfect equality, to 1, perfect inequality. Income inequality is a global issue, and it is particularly high in the United States, where it is the highest among all G7 nations. The causes and consequences of income inequality are complex and multifaceted. Income inequality can be caused by various factors, such as differences in education, skills, and experience, as well as discrimination and globalization. Income inequality can have negative consequences for individuals and society as a whole, such as reduced social mobility, increased poverty, and decreased economic growth. Therefore, policymakers need to focus on the poor and the middle class to reduce income inequality and promote inclusive growth. Research on income inequality is ongoing, and there are many studies that provide insight into the issue. For example, some studies have analyzed the forces that shape the wage distribution in an economy. Other studies have examined the impact of income inequality on economic growth and social mobility. By understanding the causes and consequences of income inequality, policymakers can develop effective strategies to address the issue and promote more equitable societies. Environmental impact. Many billionaires invest in polluting industries, which contributes to climate change and harms the environment. In fact, 125 of the world's richest billionaires invest so much money in polluting industries that they are responsible for emitting an average of 3 million carbon tons a year. The environment and the economy are closely intertwined, and the impact of one on the other is significant. Economic growth can lead to increased consumption of non-renewable resources, higher levels of pollution, and global warming. Poor environmental quality can also affect economic growth and well-being by lowering the quantity and quality of resources or due to health issues. Therefore, it is essential to consider the environmental impact of economic growth when making economic policies. Environmental economics is a field of study that examines the impact of environmental policies and devises solutions to problems resulting from them. It helps governments weigh the pros and cons of alternative measures and design appropriate environmental policies. Environmental economics can either be prescriptive-based or incentive-based. A major subject of environmental economics is externalities, the additional costs of doing business that are not paid by the business or its consumers. Another major subject of environmental economics is placing a value on public goods, such as clean air, and calculating the costs of losing those goods. Since some environmental goods are not limited to a single country, environmental economics often requires a transnational approach. The World Bank has recognized the importance of investing in nature and has presented a first-of-its-kind integrated ecosystem economy modeling exercise to assess economic policy responses to the global biodiversity crisis. The report points to a range and combination of policy scenarios available to reduce the impact of nature's loss on economies. Corruption. Wealth earned through political connections can hamper the economy. Billionaires who use their wealth to influence politics can create policies that benefit themselves at the expense of the rest of society. Corruption is a major issue that affects the economy of a country in various ways. It discourages investment, limits economic growth, and alters the composition of government spending, often to the detriment of future development. Corruption results in inefficiencies in the operations of emerging economies and prevents such economies from reaching the maximum level of development. It leads to monopolies or oligopolies in the economy, and those business owners who can use their connections or money to bribe government officials can manipulate policies and market mechanisms to ensure their success, leading to high prices for low-quality goods and services. Empirical evidence suggests that corruption reduces the ratio of investment to GDP, lowers investment, and retards economic growth to a significant extent. Corruption also has a direct impact on inequality, as it diverts resources from the poor to the rich and undermines the provision of public services, such as health and education, which are essential for reducing poverty and inequality. Corruption also affects the quality of public institutions, such as the judiciary and law enforcement agencies, which are essential for maintaining the rule of law and ensuring a level playing field for all businesses. Corruption is a major obstacle to economic development and growth. It undermines the efficiency of markets, distorts the allocation of resources, and reduces the quality of public services. To combat corruption, it is essential to strengthen institutions, promote transparency and accountability, and ensure that the rule of law is upheld. Only then can we create an environment that is conducive to economic growth and development, and that benefits all members of society. Exploitation. Billionaires often accumulate their wealth through exploitative labor practices, tax breaks, and loopholes that are beyond the reach of most ordinary people. This can lead to a concentration of wealth in the hands of a few, which can harm the economy. Economic exploitation is a concept that refers to the relationship in the distribution of economic wealth, where a worker does not receive the full value of their labor. This type of exploitation is often seen in low-wage jobs, where workers are paid less than the value of the goods or services they produce. This can lead to a cycle of poverty, where workers are unable to improve their economic situation due to the low wages they receive. Another form of economic exploitation is the exploitation of natural resources for economic growth. This can have negative consequences for the environment, as natural resources are often depleted or destroyed in the process. This type of exploitation can also lead to social and economic inequality, as the benefits of economic growth are often concentrated in the hands of a few, while the costs are borne by the many. Forced labor is another form of economic exploitation that is prevalent in many parts of the world. According to the International Labor Organization, ILO, forced labor generates annual profits of US $150 billion worldwide. This type of exploitation involves the use of coercion or deception to force individuals to work against their will. It is often associated with human trafficking, where individuals are forced to work in conditions of slavery or servitude. The ILO has called for greater efforts to combat forced labor and to protect the rights of workers around the world. Lack of innovation. Billionaires often invest in established industries rather than new and innovative ones. This can stifle innovation and prevent new businesses from emerging, which can harm the economy in the long run. Innovation is a key driver of economic growth, yet there seems to be a lack of it in the current economy. According to a study by Christine Quine, each 10 percentage point increase in broadband penetration adds 1.3% to a high-income country's GDP. Developing countries face challenges in realizing the potential gains from innovation due to weak government capacity and lack of human capital. Innovation can lead to higher productivity, meaning that the same input generates a greater output. This can result in increased economic growth and job creation. Innovation policies and how we measure innovation progress need to be reconsidered to meet the challenges of an intensely competitive and rapidly evolving global economy. Innovation has been key to past prosperity and is vital moving forward. There are concerns that the lack of innovation in the current economy could lead to a decline in economic growth. Effective innovation policy requires choosing the right mix of policies and programs, and designing and implementing them effectively. It is important for policymakers and entrepreneurs to understand how to promote innovation in developing countries and to address the constraints that hinder innovation progress. While billionaires can contribute to the economy through job creation and philanthropy, their negative impact on the economy cannot be ignored. It is important to address the root causes of income inequality, corruption, and environmental degradation to create a more equitable and sustainable economy. Let us know your opinion in the comments section below. This was all for today. Hope you liked the video. Subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more interesting videos. Stay safe, and we will be back soon with another video.